Well, good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. I'm your host, Reverend Catherine Bonin, and it's my joy to welcome you here this morning. If this is your first time, we're so glad you've chosen to join us. And because of modern technology, we are grateful for the opportunity to touch so many people. We've got people here this morning from California and Colorado and Florida, all over the country. You can join us through Zoom, on Facebook Live, and also live right there in Charlotte. So also to find out what's happening here at CSL Charlotte, visit our website, cslcharlotte.org. There you can find out all the happenings, you can put in a prayer request, and you can subscribe so you get regular information about what's going on here. We also record the Sunday services, and you can find them in an archive on the website as well. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community. We live in ancient wisdom philosophy that's based on the science of mind. Science of mind was developed in the early 20th century by writer, lecturer, and philosopher Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied the truth from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. We call him the great synthesizer because he took all of those truths and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into the world. At CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored, along with every race, every sexual orientation, and every physical distinction. Welcome you, and this is a very diverse community, as you can see. There are many paths to God. You can call it God, you can call it the divine, you can call it peace, love, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter to us what you call it. What matters is that you have that personal one-on-one connection to it, that you've developed a personal relationship to it. You also don't have to leave your own philosophy or the nature of the knowledge that you were raised on. You can join us anytime. We recognize the Bible and all the other holy scriptures as well, the Quran, the Torah, the Gita, just to name a few. And our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, the spirit, and the body of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community and for the world. We teach everyone the tools to do that. So join us as we meet on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock for our consciousness meetings. Now I'd like to just welcome everyone, invite you to sit back and enjoy our service this morning as we celebrate this power within us that lives and loves and experiences life in, as, and through each of us. And so I'd like to pass the mic back over to my dear friend and our illustrious leader, Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Reverend Catherine, for being here this morning. And I just love it how you always make sure that we are being taken care of by your voice. Thank you so much for all the wonderful things you do with this community. So that said, we are CSL Charlotte, the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. We're talking about everything that has anything to do with your life. So what we do in our celebration services, which are on Sunday mornings, is we open up with an affirmative prayer. So today I have to open us up is Reverend Karen. She is my sister. She's my spiritual sister, birthday sister, everything sister. She's my prayer partner. You name it, she's that. So with that all being said, I would like to let you know that you're blessed to hear this, because right now she's going to open us up today and we're just going to be ready. So Reverend Karen, thank you.
Oh, Reverend Rosedale, I'll answer to Reverend Catherine. She's a beautiful person and I would gladly do that. So we are going into prayer today as one mind, one body, one spirit, absolutely knowing that as Reverend Rosedale delivers this beautiful message about the power within, the power of our light, the power of our word, the power of who we are. It's all about power. And that power is God power. That power is the power of spirit that is within us, that we were born into this world with, that leaves this world with us and continues on and on within the angels of heaven. And absolutely knowing this and knowing beautiful beautiful words of Reverend Rosedale this morning, the gift that she is to this world, the gift that we honor, and the beauty that she is, and the beauty that all of us and all the people in her family, this team is the family that supports our minister, and we do it with love and with honor and with respect. And in that, I am absolutely grateful for being able to do this prayer, for being able to be part of this family, and join me in an attitude of gratitude as we release this prayer into the universal law. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Wow. Thank you so much for that beautiful opening prayer, Reverend Karen. Really love you. So that all being said, we're going to get ready for the reader now. And this reader guy, man, he's my right hand. He's my main man, right? This is Alan the A-Team. And pretty much, I just watched Science of Mind through him. And this morning on the way here, we had a nice, wonderful, sure, I would call it a growth conversation. It was so wonderful. So, and then I know from that, he's going to do something way far and beyond, like he always does. He's just a big man like that. So he's going to really impact our talk today with his reading. So when he does that, I want you to really listen to him. But right after him, this song called Thoughts. I hear thoughts. I see thoughts. It's you gotta work with the mind here now. Work with the mind. Hear what he says. Hear that song, but take that song to heart. Take it as a chant. Take it as something that works with you. And when you do that, oh my God, this is going to open you up for this wonderful service. So, Alan, please do what you do.
Well, thank you. So today's reading is from the book, The Power of the Spoken Word by Florence Scovel Shinn. God's gift to humanity is power and dominion over all created things, our minds, our bodies, and affairs. All unhappiness comes from lack of power. We imagine ourselves weak and the victim of circumstances, claiming that conditions over which we had no control caused our defeats. Humans, by ourselves, are indeed victims of circumstances, but linked with God's power, all things are possible. Through the knowledge of metaphysics, we are discovering how this can be done. By your word, you contact this power. Then, miraculously, every burden is lifted and every battle is won. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Watch your words with diligence. You are continually reaping the fruit of your words. To work with God power, you must give it right of way and still the reasoning mind. The instant you ask, infinite intelligence knows the way to fulfillment. Our part is to rejoice and give thanks and act in faith. Only active faith impresses the subconscious, and unless you impress the subconscious, there are no results. And so it is.
Whoa, wow. Let's take a moment to see our thoughts. Do you silence them when they are getting overbearing? We'll talk about that. So I want you to take a few minutes just to let those words soak in. And did you hear her wonderful words, like a chant, so to speak? Especially, did you catch that thing when she said, this is my 2020 plus personality now? I'm not who I was in 2019, but even a year ago, I'm who I am. Things that way. She's speaking nothing but truth to the power. And when you get to really start to focus in on a lot of your fabulous and awesome I ams and I believe and all of those wonderful things, you actually feel you are talking to the power. And when you talk to the power, your future is never the same, whether or not you're on the love side or the fear side is what the question is, right? So remember, we always speak to the power 24/7. Sometimes we're in the fear side, sometimes we're on the love side, but you gotta know through self-awareness where you are when you speak to the power. So that being said, everybody, let's just wiggle your fingers and your toes and start to enter into this wonderful service. And as you do, really give yourself a chance to look around your space and really see yourself as a new person there. But as you see yourself as a new person, just say, hey, I didn't notice that before. Hey, I didn't notice this before. See your thoughts as we begin talking about the talk titled Speaking the Truth to the Power. So the first thing I'm going to do, as always, is I'm really going to get into the idea of my gratitude from all of what happened before service. Like, for example, we had Reverend Catherine. She was our MC. She is our MC, and she did a wonderful thing for us today. And then we had Reverend Karen, who did our prayer. So I think that is wonderful. And then Alan, Big A, with his reading, he really brought the whole talk to life. So that all being said, I'm still holding the gratitude for all of those wonderful healings that we had since the beginning of time and just this past last week. So now that all said, let's look forward to more healings. And if is anyone here that's interested in healings in any part of your life, remember our consciousness meeting on Tuesdays. When you do that, you'll hear more about that in the service. So that all being said, let's go. Let's get with the talk. So now, preparing to speak the truth. What I know is that everything we say in a conversation belongs to us, and we believe it. It's sad to say, even when you're gossiping, you're believing that truth. But when you're giving somebody good, high, let's say you're giving people accolades, good for you. Because the accolades you give out, you're going to receive them back, or you're going to see it in your life. Maybe the not so good things you do, you're going to see that in your life as well. That all being said, when you say, I believe so and so and so, you're making future plans. You got to know what side you're on. So just realize that whether you're in the fear or the love side makes the difference. And it makes a very big difference. And you know what else I do like about that first song is my girl, she said, what did she say? She said, I joyfully create in me. She said, I also, before I talk about someone, she said, I see me first, and then I clear up my stuff. And then she moves on with wherever she's got to go. Because every time we think, every time we talk, every time we speak, if we curse the universe, if we are praising the universe, whatever we are doing, we are creating our future. We're creating tomorrow. Everything we said and did 10 years ago, we've experienced it as we went along. We might not remember it because a lot of times we're not aware, nor are we paying attention to what's going on. But these days we have been, especially being part of CSL Charlotte. We have been very much looking at what we do, who we are, and where we are going. And without doing that, it just works out so well. So, there's this power within us. And this power has been with us since the beginning of time. I should say since the conception in our mother's womb. And so what happens is, if you know anything about ecology, it's the science of how humans relate to nature, how humans relate to the environment, how humans relate to each other, and it's just a science. It's science and spirituality. And what ecologists do is they let us know, and they know for sure that there is a connection between that power within us and the universe. There is a connection between that power within us and each and every star that we see in the sky. There's nothing here accidentally. The sun transmits its rays into us and activates vitamin D. We have the same thing that plants have. Plants have the same thing we have. The animals, we are all connected. We are linked to that power. And no matter how much a person believes it or not, it's working. So if your life is not at the results you want, remember that 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a week ago, you said that. I'll give you an example. The other day, I was doing my dishes. And in my mind, I had heard thought. Now, 24/7 is a chatterbox constantly going on. I heard a thought like, you're going to break a plate. But usually what I do is I say, oh, you know better than that. You're divinely protected in God. I would say something, but I didn't. I just went, oh no, I don't want to hurt my plates. Guess where I ended up? On the fear side, but check it out. As I realized that when I look back after I broke the plate, I said to myself, you saw that. You saw the plate breaking. And you know what you did? You freaked out because you liked the plate that much. But all you had to do was say, no, all my plates are taken care of. That was my favorite plate, guys. But the thing is, when you know that something is coming towards you that can be a little fearful, don't stay on that side. Get it out. What did she say in the song? She said, I clear up my stuff. See, I mean, you know what? Get that song and carry it around in your car, because that's what I do. Because I said, whoa, she didn't just say that. Because I'm always hearing something new from my girl, Toni Jones. And she said that, yes, she did. She said things like, I look at people and I'm getting ready to say something, but before I do, I start cleaning up me. I like her 2020 plus mentality. She said, I'm on a 2020 plus mentality now. And when she said that, that hit home, because I said to myself, I'm not who I was 2019. And how about last year? I'm not even who I was last year. Oh, wait a minute, hold up. I got to say this. I'm not even who I was yesterday. Because why? Yesterday, I was the great grandma and I was playing with little Rosie, So, Emma Rose is something else, boy. She's very spiritual and very witty. But I'm just saying, when you think about the things you did. So yesterday, I was this person with so much wisdom because my grandkids were around and my great-granddaughter was around, and everybody seemed to be wanting so much questions. Today, I'm just having a good time with a bunch of people with the wisdom that I can just have the interaction with. And so that's a really good thing. So yeah, just know who I am now is going to be different from tomorrow by tomorrow. And I accept it. And here's another thing. Coming up, I used to remember how they would say to me, you're changing. And so instead of me saying, I know that's good because I didn't know, you don't know what you don't know. I tried to see how I can conform so that I don't change too much and let everybody feel bad. But then I started to understand in my mind that, wait a minute, what you're doing is you're trying to please them, and people pleasers just don't get loved. People pleasers get walked on. So I had to realize to myself, well, now, what is it that you really are? And so as I started to figure that out and I started to get it on, I said, you know what? I think everybody heard today, I'm saying right now in my mind, out my mouth, the words I'm saying, very clear. But at the same time, are you listening to those words? 24/7, there's a chatterbox going on. This chatterbox that's going on is just going on and on and on. And it's not going to stop until you take your last breath. So deal with it. Get with it. Talk with it. Be the one in control of it. Because, I could say to myself right now, oh, so-and-so just disappointed me. And I'm so pissed off with that. I can say that. Yeah, but who am I really mad about? But I bet you one thing, I can't control so-and-so for what they do. But guess who I can control? Me. And if I don't control me, then there's no point in me trying to control somebody else. And so with that all being said, guys, speaking truth to the power is the only thing we can do to control our mind, our body, and our spirit. We cannot control, I can't control what Alan thinks. I can't control what Horace thinks. All I know is I can control what I think. And a case in point, you got to realize that, because the moment you begin speaking to somebody something about what they ought to do, stop and think about what you need to be doing. And I can say that countless times because I don't do that to people. Like, well, you know what you should do? I'll say it if they ask. And if they say, I don't like your idea, I'm going to say, fantastic. And I just thought you would want to hear that. But that's okay. You don't have to take that because you know what? You got your own power. Here's why. I learned that from my kids and my grandkids. They do not like being told anything. But here's the deal. The other day, Isaiah came, not the other day, but when Isaiah was going out to start looking for a job, the first thing he said to me was, look, don't waste your money. I'm not going to college. Not going to do it. Okay. So then he got himself a job and it was nice. You know, he felt like, but see, this is what I knew was going to happen. He's going to get out there. I said, go ahead, do what you got to do. Because I already know he has his own inner being. I know each and every one of those kids, and you got to know your animals, your dogs, your cats, your people that you that look up to you, they have their own inner beings. But you got to let it go. So he says to me, well, I need to make more money. This is not later. This is not enough. I said, well, you got the means and the ways to do it, so get it done. And he looked at me like, what? I said, oh, yeah, you can get a second job. There's so many things you can do, but I'm not going to give you advice. You know where it's going to come from? Within you. Because I said, by right of consciousness, dude, you are going to get you more money because that's what you want. And he's, wow. Because every time I wanted more money, or every time I need more money for something, I get it. And I'm going to get it. But it's not just, I just sit there and it comes to me. And I said that to him and he was like, ooh, see, when you raise alpha boys, you got to challenge them. When I said, you just can't sit there and think that because we prayed about it, that this extra money is going to come from nowhere. Neither can us. Neither can we, right? We got to do something. We got to put some action behind it. So I said, so you got to get to work, buddy. I don't know what he was going to do, but he was looking at me. I could see him looking out of the corner of my eye, but I would not look up at him because I said, no, because if you look at him, you're going to feel like, oh man, I got to make him work. Yes, I got to make him work. So I just looked away from him. That next morning, he came to me and he said, Mom, guess what? I was up all night long. That was his action. He had to do it. He said, I was up all night long trying to figure out how to get some more money. He said, so what I did was I started putting in applications. He said, FedEx called me and I got an interview. And I said, well, that's fabulous. Okay. So now he said, but you know what? I picked 3 o'clock in the morning to 8 because this way I could do. I said, well, do it, dude. Do it. I said, do you need your CDL license? And he said, she always piling stuff. But you know, it's just the idea. When you're dealing with it, you have to ask people more and more questions about themselves to get them to be more powerful. And all of my clients, I never tell them, this is what you ought to be doing. No. I ask them questions because that's what makes it powerful for them. Because when they answer those questions, they are listening to talking through the divine back to me, but they're not really talking to me. They are speaking from the truth to the power. And the next week I see them, another change happens. And it goes in increments. If they don't do any work and they stay on the fear side, maybe the change is going to take a little while. But I'm patient with my clients. I just say, okay, what happened last week? Or whatever. And they'll say that. It's talking to the power. When these people or us or I speak to the power within, what do? Something's listening. And oh my God, I remember back in the 90s, things were so rough. All I was telling the power was, well, wow, I don't know why I'm not making any money anymore. I mean, I remember in the 80s, I was making money hand over fist. But guess what I was doing, speaking to the power? I was telling the power that, yeah, you're in the past money. How you going to get future money if your story is the same thing? Or your story is, well, there's nothing out there. Or your story is, well, I don't know how anybody could see me right now. Tell your story. And you better tell your story fast, because if you lie, it will come to pass. Holy, I like that. Because let me tell you something. If you lie to yourself, and I don't mean to threaten people, I'm telling you, this is the real deal. If I lie to myself and tell myself I can't, that's a lie. Because there is nothing I can't do. It's what I won't do. And I have people that I help them with their businesses, and they say to me that, oh, I'm no holds barred. I'm going to do what I got to go do. And when they don't do what they got to go do, like they say, they'll come back and they say, this isn't working. I say, well, let me ask you a question. This isn't working, or are you working? I don't criticize and judge, but it makes that person see. And then they start to tell me what they really meant. Mm-hmm. Then they start to grow. And all that interest, meaning money interest, starts to compound. And then one day they come up with this occurring thing. But Isaiah did it really quick that night, because he likes, one thing about them, if I challenge him or Kevin, oh, they coming back. They gonna figure out a way to come back. But some people I challenge, they come back. But that's why I'm not looking I'm not in this world to win a popularity contest. I'm here to speak truth to the power. That's what I do. Maybe you don't like it because I'm a little too forward. So you got to find another person. And I'm quite all right with that. Because the whole world is not going to love Rosedale. And the whole world is not going to dislike Rosedale. And what's wrong with being confident? I'll tell you what's wrong with being confident. Your friends are not confident because they don't do the work. So now they're mad at you because you act cocky. And that's their opinion. Speak truth to the power, Rosedale. And that's exactly what I do. And not everybody gets annoyed when I speak truth to the power. So instead of my children coming to me with stuff about defeat, they walk away feeling defeated momentarily, but they know what I'm meaning when I turn that deaf ear and say, all right, I've gave you ideas, and I'm not going to keep going over this with you. And when you drop a bomb on certain people, they start going, okay, let me do this. One match could strike a bomb in somebody's mind. We got to realize you work on that mind and your life will never be the same again. That mind work is all about speaking to the power. But you know what? Every word you say is a prayer. So if you're going to tell me that I hate my situation, baby, you plan to stay there. If you're going to tell me that, guess what? I am going to do this, and then you come back next week and you didn't do it, don't be mad. Don't be angry. Don't be upset. Because guess what? You can come back and do it again and do it right. You never lost it. I remember this one girl when I first started out with her a couple of years ago, and I'm still with her. She was telling me back then that I don't know that I can really stick with this, what you're telling me to do. I said, well, that's okay. Then just don't do it. We don't have to do it. Every time I said stuff like that, she would say, I can't believe it. I speak in the power. I'm speaking the truth to the power. And I'm so relieved about that. I feel so confident that I am always doing that. When we realize that what we say goes and really trust it, we know what we're doing. But let me tell you something. I keep telling you about this thing I say about believe, right? What follows I am and I believe is your future, baby. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that, but it's true. Let me tell you something. If I tell you that I believe that this planet is going to go blah, 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 guess what? My life is going to be blah, blah, blah. If I tell you that, no, what I really believe, but I'm not telling you this, I'm feeling it. See, don't just give dead words. That's another thing. Words don't heal, baby. Feelings do. Feeling gets the healing. Okay? So when I say I believe, then oh my goodness, it's all mine. So let me just say this about this next song. When you tell yourself you believe you can do something, look out, get out the way, baby. Even when you tell yourself, I believe I can't do something, get out the way, because it's yours. Here's what I know. When you say words like, I believe I can fly, get your wings out, baby, because your life is soaring at that very point, just like the eagle. Eagle, E-A-G-L-E. So that said, guys, get that flying. Oh my God. If I can see it, oh, then I get it. If I can believe it, if I believe I can fly, I'm touching that sky. And boy, oh boy, when you start speaking truth to the power, the words like I believe, just realize whatever side you are on, your future is headed for that. So that all said, guys, let's go and believe we can fly the rest of this week. Whoa, 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 you talking about somebody on fire is the big A. He's talking from experience. When you speak from experience, you can only be authentic. That's one authentic man. So what he had to do was try to say, well, what did I get out of the deal? And I think he did slam dunk on them fabulous announcements. Okay, that all being said, guys, this is the time where we talk about birthdays, and when we talk about birthdays, I take that very seriously. That's the day you came to be. Period. Dot. And if you can't respect that, maybe CSS Charlotte is not the place for you. But anyway, what you want to do, you want to put in the chat, if you're here, your birthday, month and day. And if you're on YouTube when you're watching us right now, then you want to put your month and day there too. We're not going to do anything but wish you a happy birthday. But let me tell you something. Whatever we do in our consciousness meetings that Alan mentioned on 6 o'clock, it goes out in spirit. People are healed all the time. For the many people that go into these services that we do, not just our community, but when we all get together and do those things as a community where we are using each and every one of our consciousnesses, honey, power is all over the place, even in your own life. So I'm just saying, gotta really take that time and acknowledge your birthday. Because if you don't want to acknowledge your birthday, then you're saying that, so what, I'm here, big deal. No, you're a big deal. And if you don't start there, where will you go? All right, enough with the birthdays, okay? I guess you got the point, okay? So what you want to do is start to acknowledge your birthday. The thing about speaking the truth to the power is when you say, I'm not a big deal. That's a problem. When you don't acknowledge your birthday, I'm just saying, it just hit me just now that some people say, I don't want to tell you my birthday because I don't care, but they'll tell everybody happy birthday. So it must mean something to them if they keep telling other people. So think about that. Think about yourself. So I got to give some big thanks out. First of all, I got to give, I got to give kudos to the big team here, the platform team, Reverend Catherine, and Alan for the reading, and Reverend Karen for the prayer, and Timmy P for doing what he do. He's there. He took care of some of the music. Alan took care of some of the music. It's just a team. It's a team effort, and I love this fabulous team. And you know what? I don't think I could have found another one, but I know one thing. Reverend Catherine, that's here, our MC. Let me tell you about that woman. That woman is a person who has took me from the time she met me as her little protege for a little while. And from there, she brought me to her home, and anything I wanted to do with her, it was a done deal and all that good stuff. We walked together. We did all kinds of prayers together. We did a lot of visioning together. That is my partner when I want to say, hey, I'm going here. And she said, all right. And I'm ready to take that plunge, and at least her consciousness combined with mine. That's exactly what you want to do, guys. You want to combine your consciousness with other people. I know I'm excited and I keep bouncing around. Okay, let me calm it down. I'm not going to calm it down. Let me stop that. Okay. But anyway, like I said, thank you, team. Thank you, Groovy G, for being the person that you are, always eager to help. Like, for example, she knows that she has to mute people if they're noisy. She knows that if something happens, she got to remove people. She just handles our little thing here. This is beautiful. Also, Melissa, she's the one who's bringing the people in when they come to the room and to do that stuff like that for us. So I think that is fabulous. And then who is our prayer? Oh, Groovy is also our
Prayer room tech.
prayer room tech. Because I was going to say backroom babe, but I want to stay professional as I can, y'all. So anyway, okay. So yeah. But you heard me. I still told you anyway. See, I'm an open book. I'm okay with that. So anyway, we have. I just had to thank my. See, I know this. What I think about, I bring about. And I'm so grateful for my team, and they know it all the time. I tell them all the time. So let's move on, because it's time for us to be ready to close out our service. So, okay, Rosedale, simmer down now. That's a lie. But anyway, I'm going to try. But anyway, let me just tell you this. We got to remember that when we speak, you are definitely speaking to the power. What's that word? I can't reiterate that enough. And when you realize that that's what you're doing, you'll remember that. And as you do it, this last song is going to really speak the power to you, because it's going to make you feel uplifted. It's going to bring you into your fun for the week. So anything that happens to you throughout the week, you are so ready for it. So let's get into that feeling. Because remember I said, yeah, words are empty. Not always, they're not always empty. Words don't always mean anything. The feeling does. So I want you to get into the song today and start to get into the feeling. So this week you can remember it. So let's go with that last song. And then Reverend Karen's going to pray us out. I got this feeling in my body. You got the feeling in your body, Groovy? I see Groovy. Groovy got the feeling in her body. Yeah, that's how we feel good. When we start to feeling good, life starts to happen in good. Okay? I know my language and my English sometimes could be a little off-putting. But it's okay, because I'm dancing, y'all. And I'm happy. So anyway, that all being said, we're going to close out with our prayer with Reverend Karen. So Reverend Karen, please go ahead and pray us out.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Reverend Rosedale. And Rosedale said she can't stop bouncing around and moving around, and neither can any of us. I mean, God made us to move. God didn't make us to sit still.
That's right. Move that body.
We gotta move these bodies. And boy, if I was there, I'd be jumping around doing this. So as the service closes out, as we start the rest of our day, continue the rest of our day, we've already started it with this beautiful service of inspiration and power, recognizing that power, knowing that power is God, knowing that power is spirit, knowing that power as the light within each and every one of us, as we embrace and open and move that God self within us, that God power within us, that God light within us. We move and we let it come out through every pore of our being, through our mind, our mouth, our bodies, our feet, our hands, everything. We move prayer. Prayer is movement. Prayer is our heart beating. Prayer is the blood coursing through our body. Prayer is the knowing of who we are, the truth that we are speaking about ourselves and about the world and about everything in our life. The power is in our word, that power of beauty and truth. materializes, manifests in our lives as our brain takes those words and our brain makes everything we do it. As our brain makes us do what we got to do to make it happen, and we do it unconsciously, we do it, we go forward, and the power of our word is so powerful. It's so beautiful. It's so God. It is everything that we are. And thank you, Reverend Rosedale, for this beautiful message, because I am on fire with that power, as I know each and every one of us are. And in gratitude, oh my God, gratitude. Yes, the power of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Reverend Rosedale. Thank you, CSL Charlotte. Thank you, beautiful platform people, my brothers and sisters. I love you all so much, and I'm just hugging you. I'm hugging you. I'm hugging you. So let's go about our day and bring the power of our word into this world, into ourselves on a beautiful note. And in saying that, let us release this prayer into the universal law, the power of God's heart, knowing that it expresses in each of our lives and the lives of those around us as we bring kindness and beauty and power of our word into this world. So in saying that, join me in releasing this prayer into the magnetic beauty of manifestation. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is, Karen, Reverend Karen. You mean that stuff from the bottom of your heart, because I feel you, girl. I feel you. Oh, man. Oh, thank you, Reverend Karen. So that all said, guys, another great feeling. I'm just using keywords, that's all. So we're feeling good. I'm feeling good. I know. I don't know how everybody else is feeling, because I'm trying to tell you how to feel. No. I'm feeling good. So with that being said, as we all leave, let's keep that feeling if we want it. And from that, there my girl is, she's doing that feeling, the dance, She's steady dancing the whole time. It's in her mind. It's in her body. She just can't stop. So anyway, that being said, y'all know she can't behave as it is. So, know she's coming on. So anyway, we're about to close now so that Groovy can go ahead and take in anyone who's here for prayer. We gracefully do that. Give you the honest 2-3 minute listen and prayer that just really sets you off to a wonderful day and week. So that being said, everybody, I'm going to sign off and let Groovy G take you to the next level.